Could Rangers be 6 steps from immortality? 6 steps from achieving the impossible? Who knows, guys? We've got to just keep the faith. Do you know what? Some people can call me deluded. Some people can call me crazy. Some people can call me slightly bonkers, and I don't care. I genuinely don't care what people think anymore. You know what? It's like Laura and I said on the podcast last night. It was fantastic to have our partner Lorah back on the pod last night. Guys, you know, it is emotional roller coaster supporting this team. It is never ever simple. It is a very Rangers thing, isn't it, to just, you know, go have you down in the dumps 1 minute and up in heaven the next minute. And yesterday was the classic example of that. You know, a week that started badly, tailed off a bit in the middle, but at least finished on a positive, unlike obviously the Blackadder analysis of Baldrick's poem, which was, I think it started badly, tailed off a bit in the middle, and the less said about the ending, the better. But other than that, it was amazing. Those of you who remember the old Blackadder series, I used to love a bit of Blackadder. Anyway, guys, going off on a tangent there. Gotta say, yesterday's performance was better. That was the thing. I think, you know, look, it wasn't perfect. It was not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but it was a lot better. The team showed a lot more battle, a lot more heart, a lot more fight. The team that was selected yesterday, I thought was a very good and bold selection. I think given the obviously the injury situation that we have regards certain players, it was what we had, the best that we had. And, you know, Clement was, I think, very clear in his post-match interview why certain selections were made. I think there was a diplomatic answer over why Goldson didn't start yesterday. You know, he talked about the fact that he has 4, in his words, excellent centre backs. He talked about the fact that he needs to rotate the squad. He talked about the fact that he would have started Leon Balogun on Wednesday had Leon not been ill. But he said that Connor looked tired. I think that's a diplomatic way of saying that Connor had been crap and he needed to be dropped, to be perfectly honest with you. Because let's face it, you are not, you know, going to do this. You're not going to come out and, you know, say, look, he's rubbish, he needs dropped, etc., etc. But look, let's look at it this way. I think he made the right selection yesterday. I do want to talk about Big Leon in this video. Okay, so let's talk us also about the fact that I think, you know, in terms of the striker situation, he played Cyril Dessers. You know, he said that obviously this was a situation where he needs to keep Cyril fresh going into the end of the season. That's why Kemar started on Wednesday. You know, he can't constantly play the same players all the time when you're playing 2-3 games a week, which is correct. You know, that's the right attitude. I think we'll see a difference over the coming weeks, though, however, because, you know, we're going to be down to 1 game a week now, and it's not going to be as intense in terms of the number of games we play, which is a positive there. So, you know, quite good, concise interview from Clement post game today, and I think he was, you know, pretty much spot on with his thoughts. Though, unlike obviously after the Dundee game, where I think he did go slightly off the plot. Anyway, let's talk a little bit of this man here. I thought that this man yesterday was absolutely fantastic. You know, he could have easily been named man of the match. He was excellent, absolutely excellent, I thought. You know, he dominated the back. He controlled Lawrence Shankland. I mean, he had Lawrence Shankland in his pocket. You know, his pace was very good for a 36-year-old. He is probably one of the quickest defenders we've got. He commanded the defense well. He organised the defense well. He controlled what was going on at the back. I thought he made a huge difference. Now, look, going forward to the end of the season, I think Big Leon has to be in the starting 11 until the end of the season. You know, the fact we're only playing 1 game a week will suit Big Leon. I don't think at his age he can play 2 games a week. But I do think that, you know, Big Leon can play every single game from now until the end of the season. There are 6 games remaining. We are 6 steps from immortality, and I'll explain that comment shortly. I do think Big Leon needs to start. He just, to me, the defense looks more solid. It looks calmer. It looks a lot more organized. It just looks better when he is there. He brings experience. He brings a wealth of knowledge. He brings a calmness that we haven't perhaps seen there. And look, I think there's been a very real element that Jack Butland had lost a bit of confidence in his back line. And I think having Big Leon back there yesterday perhaps restored some of that confidence. I've got to say, Big Leon was absolutely brilliant yesterday. The other thing I think that made the huge difference was Mohamed Diomande. Look, I've been an advocate for Mo Diomande. I've talked him up. I've talked about how good I think he is. I thought he was excellent yesterday. I thought, it wasn't just, his passing up for his long passing forward or whatever. It was also the short, quick passes to get the game moving. I think that is something we've really lacked over the last few games. There's been a passive, slow nature to our football over those games against Ross County and against Dundee. A bit of a Suter to Goldson, Goldson to Suter, Goldson to Tav, Tav to Goldson, Tav to Suter, Suter to Sterling, Sterling back to, and it's just too much pissing about at the back with the ball. Whereas I thought Diomande brought some urgency, he brought some quality. He really did make a huge difference yesterday. And just like I said, he brings urgency. He picks the ball up. He goes through the lines. He quickens the pace. And I think that was absolutely excellent yesterday from Mohamed Diomande. I thought he was very, very good. And I thought, again, he was another candidate for man of the match. It really does show how much we've missed him over the last couple of games. And I know there was some doubt cast over him. I think he did genuinely have I think we've got to sort of remember this guy's played a full season up to November, then hadn't played since November when he came in January. And Philippe Clement was spot on with his post-match comments yesterday when he said that this is not the end point for Diomande, that he will go on to other things. And look, I know that's sad. I'd love Rangers to be the end of everyone's career in terms of the fact you stay here, you win everything you want to win, and then you retire happy. But I don't think that's going to happen, unfortunately, in this modern world where the EPL, the two La Liga giants, Bayern Munich, etc., have all the cash. So that's just how it is, unfortunately. We can't go back at the moment to the days of Souness where we were the dominant club in Britain and we could buy whoever we wanted and keep those players for as long as we wanted. But I thought Diomande was absolutely phenomenal yesterday. Really, really good. Now, look, guys, what do I mean by 6 steps to immortality? We have 6 games remaining. That's the season. It's pretty mad, isn't it, that the season has come down to 6 games overall. 6 games overall. So let's look at it this. Let's look at it this way. We've got St Mirren, we've got Kilmarnock, we've got Celtic, we've got Dundee, we've got Hearts, and then obviously the cup final against Celtic. So let's talk about this. Look, you can call me deluded. And yes, it is not going to be easy. It genuinely is not going to be easy going in towards the end of the season because look at it this way. They are going to have a lift going into the leagues because of what we've done, because of the fact we've effectively handed the impetus back to them. We have. But if Saturday shows us anything, and watching the game on Saturday and looking at, I didn't actually watch it live because I don't watch Celtic live. I've watched bits and pieces of it and read analysis of it and looked at it a bit and then watched the bits and pieces of the defending and things post-match, just to have a look at what's going on with them. They're not a good team. They genuinely are not a good team. Their defense is suspect. And I think if you get at their defense, you can cause them problems. Aberdeen got at their defense. I'm going to say this, and I know this will get that lot all across the city all riled up, but I don't care. They were lucky. They were really lucky. And look, as much as I dislike Aberdeen, and that's the thing I think you've got to think about, I do genuinely dislike Aberdeen. Aberdeen were very unlucky. I think Aberdeen deserved to win that game. They were equally as good as Celtic. Celtic are not unstoppable. They're not unstoppable. You look at their remaining fixtures, they've still got Hearts to play, they've still got Killie to play away, and that'll be tough, going to Rugby Park. It's a game where they've already lost there. And, maybe I am being deluded. Maybe I have had, I don't know, too much God knows what coffee this morning. But there's a chance. There's still a chance, and we don't give up hope. And I know at times these players can let us down, and that's a very Rangers thing, but we just got to keep the faith and keep the fact that, we're down to 1 game a week. Now we may stand a chance of getting some players back. I mean, obviously we are very concerned about Seema, as Phil Clement said in his post-match interview yesterday. We have to wait till Monday or Tuesday to find out what the situation is with Seema. So obviously we need to keep our eyes open and our ears to the ground on that one. He said the doctor didn't speak to him about Seema post-game because, we know we've got time to assess that. So we've got to hope that Seema is not out long-term. He is a vital player for us in the running. But Celtic are not the Postecoglou Celtic. They are not the machine of Ange Postecoglou. Ange Postecoglou had them as an absolute machine. They didn't lose. They just kept on going. They kept on winning. They kept on just just been a non-stop machine. Whereas this team that they have this year have weaknesses. They have a wobble at the back in them. Their players are not that good. You know, it's just frustrating for me that we are sat here on the 22nd of April and we're kind of behind them in the league because we've handed them back. They haven't won. They haven't got to that position because they've been particularly good this season. They've got to that position they're in now because we've given it back to them. Like I said, there's every chance they drop points. There's every chance they drop points. Now, it's going to take a major shift in momentum, a major shift in focus, a major shift in mentality for us to go to Parkhead and win. We have not got a great record at Parkhead. End of story. You know, it is not very good at all. And it's something that needs to change. And you worry, obviously, I know about the mentality of some of the players and the scar tissue that's there as regards going to Parkhead. You know, it is not a place where we traditionally have done well in recent times. And, you know, it is kind of a game where we need to really go out there now, and we do need to win rather than just go there and get a draw, which was of the past. Then that's not the case anymore. We do need to actually win at that game. I mean, I'm just looking at their fixtures, trying to have a quick look at the results now. I mean, our last win at Parkhead was a 2-0 win in 2020-2021. That was the last time we beat them at Parkhead. I mean, recent times at Parkhead, we've lost 2-1 this season, 3-2 last season, 4-0 under Gio. There was a 1-1 draw at Parkhead, a 3-0 defeat, a 1-1 draw. And the last time we won was when, you know, we did have back-to-back wins in 2019, 2020, 2021 under Gerrard, 2-1, 2-0. So look, you know, the record is not great. I mean, if you look at our last few games there, last 62 games at Parkhead, we've only won 15 of our last 62 there, 11 draws, and they've won 36 times. So over 50% of the games have ended in a Celtic victory. So it will take a major change in momentum. But you look at those fixtures, and look, there's no reason why we can't, as the Americans would say, run the table. You know, go to St Mirren Park next week and win. Play Killy at home. You know, it's Ibrox. The Ibrox, get Ibrox rocking, beat them. Go to Parkhead, beat them, beat Dundee, beat Hearts. And look, I know Celtic still have to slip up somehow, or we have to turn the goal difference round, but it's not over. I don't think it's over. And if this team can win 6 more games, and that's what it is, 6 games, 5 league, and then win the final, it's a treble. It's a domestic treble. It's probably the most unlikeliest treble. It's probably the surprise treble. It's probably the immortal treble. But it happens. It can happen. Anything can happen in football. Football is crazy. Football is weird. Football is not predictable. That's why we love it. And it's still on. It could still be on, guys. And I know that's a kind of change of attitude. And look, we've all got to be positive. We all have, as fans, our days when nothing's good enough, when everything's wrong, when players stink, when it's the end of the road as we know it. And we all have our up days. That's what being a fan's all about, isn't it? Guys, let me know what you think. Am I being crazy? Am I being deluded? Let me know in the comments down below. Anyway, thank you for watching Glasgow Rangers Nation, guys. As always, please smash the sub. We're on over 5,500 now. So obviously help us get to our 6,000 target by the end of the season. If you didn't check out last night's pod with me and the lovely Lorah, please do that also. And on the way out, 2 things I always ask of you. Number 1, smash the like. Number 2, remember always, we are the people.